Thank you, Marty. So, what is intellectual property protection? I would say that for most of us, if we know it or not, we have intellectual property protection around us each and every day, whether it be our coffee mug that may have a trademark on it, the book on our desk which has copyright, or the cell phone which has numerous patents. The goal of today's panel is really to unmask what intellectual property protection is and bring it out of the shadows so we can figure out how it can benefit us and exactly what it is. And with that, I'd like to start the question with Alice. What exactly is a patent?
What a patent does is it allows you the right to exclude others from practicing whatever invention you get patented, whatever gets granted. That means that you don't necessarily have the right to practice that patent. And that's because you can end up patenting and many patents are like this, they're improvements on a prior patent. And so an improvement means that you then, you may get that granted patent, but then you have to get rights to the underlying technology that you've improved on. So that's why patent rights are considered an exclusory right, not so much the ability to use it. And an example would be, for instance, is a second use a patent on a medical second use. So you have a compound that somebody else may have a patent on, and you've come up with a novel and non-obvious idea or method of treatment using that compound. And while you can get a patent on that method of treatment using that compound, you can't actually practice that method because you will have to get, as long as there's a patent existing on that compound, you'll have to get rights to use that compound. That's just a simple example of what can happen. There are different types of patents. Of course, I think many people are familiar with the design patents, and those cover things like in fact, much of what the Apple-Samsung war is over are design patents. So they can be quite powerful. And then you have utility patents, which cover the function, not so much the look. A design patent is the look. And there are plant patents, which cover plants. And there's other ways to get protection for plants besides patents. And I think that's it.
So in terms of length of time, is it forever? Is it for 20 years, 30 years?
So a utility patent, which most people are familiar with, has a 20-year life from the earliest filing date. So that means that if you put your stake in the ground early in what they call a provisional patent, so you have 1 year to finish really doing what you want to do, experiments and really tightening up your patent application, then it starts. That actually doesn't count, that first year, but it's from the actual examined application or from another type of patent application called a international application. So you have 20 years from the date that was filed.
Okay. Now, in terms of cost, is this something you can spend a few bucks on, or is it something you really need some capital?
You really need capital. I mean, you can file what they call a quick and dirty application for several $100s. You'll see advertisements from, I can't remember what is the company that advertises online for doing.
Like a LegalZoom?
Yeah, LegalZoom. LegalZoom will do it for you. But the problem with that is that you only have the rights that are in that document. And so if you don't have it fully fleshed out, it could be, number one, easy to reverse engineer, design around. You really need to have some expertise in developing that patent application. And those generally run depending on the invention, and I'm talking about a utility, $5,000 to $10,000. And then you're not even talking about, say, if you go worldwide, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time you're done just filing them. Then you have to worry about maintaining them, their fees to maintain them.